Hi everybody, Sandra from Raw Travel here. Just wanted to talk to you today about the Cape to Cape track in beautiful Western Australia. Gorgeous trail that runs from Cape Naturalist Lighthouse in the north to Cape Leeuwin Lighthouse in the south. 135 kilometres of gorgeous coastal scenery, amazing granite rocky outcrops, gorgeous limestone cliffs, and beautiful vegetation, including some amazing wildflowers. So one of the things that you need to make sure of when you're out on the trail is that you have plenty of water. We recommend at least 2 litres of water, if not more, depending on what time of the year that you're walking. Obviously in summer or when the temperatures are starting to rise, you may need more water. Now one of the things with the track is it is quite exposed, so you won't find any shade. Also there's radiant heat, or a lot of radiant heat potentially, that comes up off some of the sandy trails. So this combined with the sun exposure can obviously present a danger to you dehydrating. So just make sure that you carry enough water, electrolytes if you need. Also make sure you have sunscreen in your pack, you have a hat, you have a long sleeved jacket or long sleeved shirt of some kind. This will also obviously help if the weather turns as well. I would recommend taking a light rain jacket as well. The trail is quite far south and is subject to squally weather, so just pack that along with any snacks that you need. In your Raw Travel package, lunch is provided, so you'll obviously have that as well. So some of the things that you might have in your day pack include a small medical kit, just for any minor injuries, a long sleeved warm top just in case the weather changes, and something also that can protect you from the sun, a lightweight rain jacket. Obviously it can be inclement, the weather down there, and depending on when you're walking. Sunscreen and a hat is normal kind of things that should go into your hiking pack. Food, snacks, electrolytes, water, maps, and the power bank to charge your mobile, and don't forget the cords if you need the cords to connect that to your mobile to recharge it. That's also nothing worse than being on the trail and having your mobile and your battery pack and no charger to do that. And also carry the PLB with you at all times. Generally the trail is very well signposted along the way. Occasionally someone may souvenir one of the discs, the directional discs that tell you where to go. Also sometimes the actual poles themselves can be dislodged by a vehicle. So just be aware of that. If ever you're in doubt, refer to your Raw Travel app. We specifically designed this app. It's our own app. You'll be sent the details of how to download it just prior to your departure. What it does is it allows you to see where you are on the trail in real time. So refer to that. We also recommend that you take out a battery pack, just a lightweight pack, perhaps just enough power to charge it for one time. It's lightweight, you won't even notice it in your pack, and obviously it offers a bit of extra safety if you need to recharge your mobile phone. We also have a map that you will be provided with when you're on the trail. Obviously you can refer to that if you're unsure. So one of the things I wanted to talk about was what the trail is like underneath. So it is generally considered to be quite sandy. There are some long beach sections. The longest is about 6 kilometres. We tell people that when they're walking on the sand, it's highly unlikely that it's going to be hard, compact sand. It's more likely to be soft. So if there's a four-wheel drive track that you can walk in where the sand is already compacted, then try and do that. If not, if there are some footprints from another walker, try and walk in those. It can be helpful. It's up to you whether or not you walk in bare feet or you leave your shoes on. If you're walking in bare feet, just be aware of any sensitivity because the sand is quite coarse. You may want to do a combination of both, of wearing, boots or else walking barefoot. We recommend that you take a little tub of talcum powder with you. If you sprinkle talcum powder on your feet after you've got sand on it, it assists with drying out your feet and helps remove the sand, making it much easier for you to put your shoes and socks back on. Generally speaking, the walking is not too technical other than the beach walking. So there are a few climbs, some rocky sections that you need to climb through. So if you normally use walking poles, take those with you. If you don't use walking poles, you may want to consider it. So there are a couple of sections, and the last day when you're walking into Cape Leeuwin, there is this rocky limestone platform that you walk on that has some quite large gaps. So if you need a bit of extra support, it may be a good idea to use poles in that section, even if you've never used them before. Other than that, there are a couple of steep climbs that are over and done with quite quickly. There are a couple of loose sand hills, I would call them, that are quite big and are a little challenging. But as I said, they're over and done with very quickly. So nothing really to worry about at all in that regards. Depending on what time of the year you're walking, you will encounter some creek crossings and the major crossing at the Margaret River mouth itself. So just be aware potentially of any fast moving water. Also, don't cross close to where the ocean meets the creeks. There's always a potential for dangerous high waves to come and wash you away. When you're crossing the Margaret River, these will generally only be passable during the late spring months, so you'll need to wade through the river. It should only be about waist high. Obviously choose the most shallow section to wade through. Also, make sure that you take your pack off and just have it on the front of your body. This just is an extra safety measure. You can easily get out of it if you get washed over or you fall over it. Just having it on your back is potentially going to be dragging you under. If the Margaret River is not passable, there will be diversion signs in place. So follow those diversion signs. It just adds an extra couple of kilometres to the walk, but obviously it's a very safe way to ensure that it's passable and you get around that section. Mobile coverage along the trail is very intermittent, so please don't rely on that. You will be provided with a PLB or a personal locator beacon. This is for use in emergency services only. So please just be aware of that. If you do get into trouble and you need to use the personal locator beacon, it will go through to a office in Canberra. They will notify us and then we will be in contact with local police, and then we'll discuss how best to go about finding where you are. But this is only to be used in emergencies only. Just a note on mobile coverage. When you're using the Raw Travel app, it uses GPS, so it is not using data from your phone, it is purely using GPS. So don't be concerned that you're going to be using up all your data. Our driver will meet you at the end of the trailhead early in the morning for transfer to the beginning of the trailhead. You'll leave your car at the end of the trail. So this allows you to walk back to your car in your own time, take in everything that you want to see, enjoy the amazing wildflowers, enjoy the amazing bird life that is there. Hopefully you'll see plenty of bird life. Hopefully you'll see dolphins. Look out for migrating whales as well. So always a pleasure to have enough time to be able to take in everything. So let's talk about snakes. There is a high probability that you will see at least one snake, if not more, on the trail. Generally, there are tiger snakes, dugites, and if you're really lucky, you'll see a lovely carpet python or two. They love to sun themselves on the rocks. Obviously, they are highly venomous, but generally not aggressive, so you don't need to concern yourself that they are going to attack you. What you do need to do is, if you see a snake, stand still. Snakes don't like abrupt movements. So just wait for the snake to pass over the trail and then you can just quietly walk on your way. If you find that the snake isn't moving, be patient. You can stamp your feet, but make sure you are a good way away. And as we've recently discovered, snakes have ears, so potentially you could clap to see if that encouraged them to move on. We want you to have a fabulous time on this walk. It's such a pleasure to walk it. If there's anything that isn't working for you or anything that we can fix, or if you'd like to give us feedback, we'd love to hear about it while you're on the trail rather than telling us about it when you come back. We'll do our utmost to fix anything that is fixable. We want you to have a good time, so please let us know. You can even talk to your driver and he will let us know and pass on any feedback that you have. If there is one thing that describes the Cape to Cape track as well, and I've been known to use this analogy, is that it's like your best high maintenance friend. May cost a little more, but it is definitely worth it. Enjoy.